Oh, what's beef? Beef is when your moms ain't safe up in the streets. Beef is when you roll no less than. Beef is when I see you, guaranteed to be a I. Classic, classic. There's a lot of beef going on in the title in regards to Rick Ross. That's Rick Ross versus the real Freeway Rick Ross. We're gonna go through some of the paperwork. I got some videos to pull up. I got an album to take a look at as it's relevant to Rick Ross and the whole beef with Freeway. Should I just call Freeway the real Rick Ross? I don't know. I'll drop a comment. Let me know, man. It's crazy that they're beefing over the name like this, and that whole situation has always been bugged out to me. We're gonna get into it. Camron apologizes to Ocho Cinco. We're gonna check that out, react to that. Jim Jones again. He fires off at Camron and Mase on a recent interview with the Double XL. We're gonna take a look at that. And Rockstar 2800 responds. I didn't put him in a thumbnail because I feel like a lot of people may not be familiar with his face. I heard about him for the first time throughout all this stuff with Blacc Sam. No diss or disrespect to him. You know, this might be an internet moment that he's going through, and then unless he does something else relevant, music wise or anything like that, you know, so I left his face out. But for those that haven't seen him before, he's doing a sit down interview, and I definitely want to speak on that. We're gonna address, does he have real beef with Blacc Sam? We're gonna see what he's saying. People on your way in, shout out to my members and shout out to my mods. I see y'all and I appreciate y'all. Please remember to share the video. Share the video. Click that little share button on YouTube. Share it out to your Twitter, to Facebook, or whatever social media platforms you're on. And of course, always like, comment, subscribe. But share these videos, man. Bring everybody in. Let them know what we got going on over here. All right, let's get into this, man, because we got a lot to go through. This Rick Ross versus the real Freeway Rick Ross beef jumped up again in headlines recently. What was this? Yesterday. So when you call somebody an informant, call somebody a rat. That's beef, right? Hey, street people, hey, street niggas, hey, street code. Isn't that like off rip? Whether we're talking about paperwork or not, and I got paperwork to get into. You call somebody a rat. What does that mean? Right? Rest in peace. It's alleged that that was the crux of the passing of Nipsey Hussle, right? Was, you know, shitty cuz called a rat, or was he told like, hey man, you can't be around here because there's paperwork or there's rumors on your name or whatever? You call somebody an informant, everybody turns their head and says, uh-oh, because you know that that can ruin your name, ruin your reputation, ruin your credibility. It could put you in the line of fire if you're an informant, right? So what happened here yesterday between both Rick Rosses? Rick Ross calls Freeway Ricky Ross a gangster informant following Rose's sound gay comment. Okay. So let's just watch that video. What happened when the real Rick Ross, Freeway, called Rose gay or whatever? It was something real light, but you knew Rick Ross was going to respond to this.
I'm a pro boxer, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm a tune in with you. That's right.
You know Freeway Rick Ross?
My
The real Rick Ross?
Yeah, Rick Ross.
Yeah, that's my manager. The real Rick Ross. You know the real Rick
You
Ross?
talking about the gangster?
Yeah, that's my manager.
For real?
Yeah, you right there. The real Rick Ross. You see him?
Let's go to Rick Ross. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You the real
Yeah.
Ricky Rose?
Real Ross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose sound gay.
Rose sound gay?
To me,
You talking about the rapper?
Rose, baby.
Oh, you ain't messing with that.
I don't know why that man, if you really know who Rick Ross is, why do you walk up to him and say, you the real Ricky Rose? Like, why did you say that? Like, okay, like, I don't get that. And then, of course, you get responses from Rick Ross, you know, the second Rick Ross, or however we're going to call him. The gangster informant still lurks at Freeway Ricky. Go put on a suit, peon. There's more too. Let's check out Rick Ross's stories. He continued on with some of his you're an informant and his snitch allegations. Look at this one on his stories right here. At Freeway Ricky, still telling. He's got a little DM up here that he's trying to show and expose. And the caption says, like I said, dick sucker, you slandered your own name. Now run and buy you a suit. Same one you took to the stand. Oh man, like what the hell? This one right here is another one. He's exposing what looks like a DM between both of them, both Rick Rosses. What's this one right here in purple? I'll slap your rat ass down. Now tell us who you ratted on. You never addressed it. You never addressed telling on folks. Okay. So if he's posting on his Instagram, you never addressed telling on folks. I mean, actually, Freeway Rick Ross did address it several times on the internet. When Freeway came home, he did a lot of interviews, especially post the lawsuit with Rick Ross. He did interviews all the way up through Joe Rogan. All right. He's been on No Jumper. He's been on all these different publications. He's been asked that question about being an informant. And you see, even in the second Rick Ross, or maybe we say real versus fake. All right. No disrespect. No disrespect. We'll say the fake Rick Ross. Right. He even said you never addressed it. So he's calling him a rat, but he's not coming with proof of why he's calling him a rat. Right. So supposedly that's a violation. Okay. But let's just take a look at when the real Rick Ross actually did address this in the past, right? And he continues on to even speak about the lawsuit. So let's check out both topics from Freeway.
And see, when you got out of jail too, and then you had a life sentence, and a lot of people like my age and shit like that, like a lot of sometimes they be like, man, that nigga a snitch. And I'm like, how you feel about that? Because I know that shit.
He said that.
Yeah.
We got the internet, right?
Damn right.
What can you not find out about the internet?
And Google it.
Who hasn't saw me on the internet? So the guy that I told on, he never saw me on the internet.
Right.
He never spoke out about it. He never said, man, that motherfucker told on me. Go and look on the internet and find that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Find the one that can say that.
I ain't gonna lie. That's a big point. I'm not trying to say that makes you 1000% correct or clear. I don't know the man's case details. I didn't read into his whole case and paperwork and all that. I ain't 1090 Jake Freeway Rick Ross, but that is true. In this internet era, you have such a big public figure, especially somebody that comes home and gets a lot of accolades, right? Think of like a Big Meech. You come home, you get all this reputation. Oh, you put in all this work. You a gangster. You did this. You did that. Now you got haters. You got people that's jealous. You also got people that maybe you crossed or you did something to. They're always looking for outlets to try to say like this person isn't real, right? Always. It happened to Adi Boom. Ever since people think that Big K's round versus Adi Boom was new news. We found out after the fact that was news that was going around for a while. It's just that Big K was the one that actually dug deeper into it, sent it to his own attorney, got validation behind the paperwork, and then brought it to the stage. But that paperwork went to other battle rappers prior. We hear rumors that it was circulating around Jersey and people were talking about it. It just needed to get to the correct messenger, right? So you have situations. I'll give you another one. For those that really remember our old school DVD days, remember Alpha Mega that used to run with T.I.? Remember him? So there was a guy that came out, no face, no name. We never heard of him before, never heard of him after that. I seen one video of him. I don't even remember his name. He did an interview. He said, Alpha Mega told on me, and he gave some details. People started digging into the details. And the next thing you know, T.I. dropped Alpha Mega and distanced himself. He said, I can't stand for that in Grand Hustle. That used to be my friend. That used to be my muscle. And then you saw Alpha Mega and T.I. going back and forth for a couple videos or for a month or two. And they haven't spoke since, as far as we know from the internet, right? One person came out that we never heard of, never seen before, and put the allegations out there. And then the internet did what the internet did after that. I've never seen a single person come out and say, Freeway Rick Ross broke this code or did wrong here. I never seen that. One thing that people do too often is the moment that you have a certain sentence, let's say the judge sentences you to 30 years. If you get out in 25, automatically people will call you a snitch. First of all, that's a very ignorant position to take. It's not street code for all you street niggas either, because you're supposed to have the paperwork, right? It's not even street code, but even logically or from a legal standpoint, people sometimes get early releases just from the prisons being overpopulated. You got people that's fighting for releases when there was COVID. Damn, who was in jail? I think it was AR Ab. Dark Low as well. He was trying to get early releases because of his health situation with his kidney. I think AR Ab may have petitioned for some of that as well. There's a lot of people petitioning during COVID. Once again, the overpopulation will release people. The president can pardon you. You got good behavior. You got programs. You got stipulations even in your initial sentencing, where they'll say, for example, you are sentenced to 25 years or 30 years with eligibility for parole after 10 or after half of your sentence. People forget that. You saw that in Shawshank Redemption, right? How many times was he going to the parole board and he was getting denied, right? He was still serving his full sentence, but in the midst of that, you periodically get an opportunity for parole board. And if you meet the standards and they say green light, we're going to let you go spend the rest of your time outside, your probation, go walk it off outside. Now the rest of your sentence, you then become free. There's all these different reasons why you can get sentenced or get a verdict for 30 years, but get out earlier and get back into the street early, on the street earlier. And people do that all the fucking time. I'm not saying Rick Ross never did nothing. I never seen it. We never heard of it. And nobody on the internet stood up. So people need to stop saying the judge gave you 30. So why am I seeing you outside in 25? Oh my God. It be the street niggas too that say this shit. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's get into the lawsuit piece of this though.
Yeah, because everybody else looking up everybody paperwork, but your paperwork is just so complex to motherfuckers. You feel me?
But you don't even need paperwork.
Yeah.
You ain't even got a guy. You ain't got one person to stand up and say, man, he told on me.
Right.
With the internet, they're the internet. I mean, it would have to be, if somebody told on you, it would have to be somebody who would come and say, go public and say, hey man, he told on me.
Yeah. So with the Rick Ross thing, like why that shit didn't happen, man? And why did you decide to like sue that nigga?
Well, I'd hit him when we was in jail. We talked, and he was supposed to come and see me, and he never did. I wasn't really tripping about that. I got out, started doing my own thing. This lawyer came to me and said, man, Universal owe you $50 million. I said, go get it.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's all it was. I didn't even care about the lawsuit.
Right. Did he know that? Did he ever reach out after that lawsuit?
Nah.
Did you lose the lawsuit?
I lost. Both of us lost. He lost about $1.5 million. They say they paid $1.5 million in attorney fees. And so the judge ordered me. I'm supposed to give him a $500,000 back. So if they ever come for it, I'm gonna give it to him in quarters.
So right now, to this day, you owe Rick Ross $500 in attorney fees.
Him and Universal and Warner Brothers. They say I owed him $1.5 million, but the judge only awarded him $500,000.
I can't fucking believe that, man.
They had 15 attorneys. Well, what was really stupid to me about the whole get down, if I'm suing somebody or somebody's suing me, I pay the lawyer $100,000. I'll be like, man, how much more?
Yeah.
How much more this gonna cost me? And if they tell me, oh, 500 more thousand, I'll be like,
shit, I'm out of there. If I'm
me, I'll be like, hey man, see a dude to take 50,000.
Oh yeah.
See if he take 100. See if he take 150. I don't wait until we get up to $1.5 million and I ain't even offered nothing.
No. You see, I halfway defend. Well, I didn't defend Freeway Rick Ross when it comes to the snitching. I defended the general reaction to people calling other people snitches and rats because they get out early or earlier than their given sentence. Okay. Now that piece right there. First of all, come on. Don't do this like, oh, they hit me up. They said, yo, Universal owe you $50 million. I don't care about it, but go get it. Shut up. Don't talk to me like I'm a fool. Once again, we ain't going for that. And he prefaced that by saying he was in contact with Rick Ross while he was in prison. He was supposed to come and see him, but he didn't. So to me, it looks like they both at a time. It probably would have been beneficial to both of them to have some type of relationship even before Freeway Rick Ross got out. I'm out here running around with your name, which I think is very, very weird. I'll keep it 1,000. I think that's weird. I'm out here running around with your fucking name. It's one thing to have his name. I'd rather it be an alias, right? Be Rose. Come out and just be Rose, and then let an alias be Rick Ross. Biggie did the same thing. There's not another Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. That he's the only one, and he had an alias of Frank White. Frank White was a gangster image from the movie King of New York. Is an alias. Don't use somebody else's name as an alias. I mean, as a primary name. Use it as an alias if you're gonna use it at all. I think I'm Big Meech. Cool. Let it be a fucking alias. So that was weird, but it would have been beneficial for them to actually have some type of relationship, given that Rick Ross, the rapper, already had the name. You eat alongside of him and y'all stand next to each other. Instead, he comes out and he stands next to the rap and he co-signs him like, yeah. And then instead, he's not adding to the fuel of like, yo, this guy used to be a fucking PO and a cop. And all I heard this, the homies called me from jail because Freeway has interviews trying to further expose Rick Ross about what type of CO and cop he was and all that type of stuff, saying that he got jail calls about him and everything. So you come out with an alliance instead of an enemy. So I think maybe the rapper Rick Ross, he missed that step. Like, this guy is already having some type of reputation, clout, and respect from his past dealings, enough to make you use his fucking name. So you know that he's coming home. Why wouldn't you want to create some type of relationship with him? So that's a misstep. And that misstep even translates to some of his own work. Right. I went and grabbed this album and I look at the back of it, and it says on this album, and I'm pretty sure other ones as well, executive producer, the boss, Ricky Rose, hence the name that they just called Freeway. And he said, oh, that sounds gay. Why? Because legally he had to stop using Rick Ross in certain places while he was in litigation. Like you had to be careful. And I think that's another reason why, see, Freeway is wrong there. He's talking about lawyer fees and attorney fees and how much it costs. And first of all, that, you know, if you find an attorney that can take on a high profile case, or is worth a damn, or is a powerful and a very, very good attorney, or is also going to put up great defenses or fights or allegations and claims towards another big entity, like let's say Rick Ross and his record label, they're not going to come pro bono. They're not going to give you a flat fee, right? It's an hourly rate. You know what I'm saying? And you pay into that hourly rate into the future, right? It's called retainer fees. When y'all hear retainer fees, you have to retain the lawyer's services. So it's like, all right, for upcoming work, we're about to go into depositions, we're about to go into trial, whatever. That's going to be 80 hours of work, right? So retain me for what we have coming up. That 80 hours times my fee, $100 an hour. I need that. That's how it goes. I got the same thing with my lawyer. You know, my very, very good law firm. This ain't no fucking pro bono shit. Retainer fees. We about to do some work for you in the future, ARP. Cut us this check. All right, here you go. That's how it goes. So I don't know if Freeway thought there and what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And of course, he came with 15 lawyers, whether you're exaggerating or not, is because he loses this and everything tied to him also can be affected. You see, when Mama Duck sues Little Dirk, she didn't just sue Little Dirk. She's suing the distribution companies, his fucking label, OTF, right? So if I have a problem with Rick Ross and him using this name, that brand is also tied into what? It's tied into how many people got masters and albums and produced tracks and songs and distribution and record. All that stuff is tied in, right? So that was a huge situation for Rick Ross to have to go fight, and he won it. Now, I saw some of the paperwork. Let's bring it up. I saw some of the paperwork that was the actual appeal, because as Freeway just said, he did lose it. He did lose this case, but I saw an appeal. I think the case started in 2010 with the actual lawsuit from Freeway. He lost it, and I think here one document that I found is an appeal that was submitted June 26, 2012. And you see this, Ricky D. Ross, an individual, aka Freeway Rick Ross, aka Rick D. Ross, is the plaintiff. And, you know, William Leonard Roberts, that's Rick Ross, an individual, DBA Rick Ross, DBA Rick Rose. Oh, so he was able to go at Rick Rose as well. Interesting. Or he tried to. So this is the appeal. The district court properly dismissed, this was in the past, dismissed Ross's trademark claims because Ross failed to state viable grounds for relief. That's why he lost the case. I hope that has nothing to do with the lawyers that you were just complaining about with the damn prices. Because if you're suing for 40, 50 million, the likes of Universal and Rick Ross and who else do I see? And what other imprints do I see on albums like this? I see Slip and Slide on here. I see MMG on here. I see Def Jam on here. You're going at these mega weights. I hope you didn't fucking skimp on your attorney. But Rick Ross, the rapper side, was able to move the case into a position where it looked like they failed to state viable grounds for relief. So not viable grounds for you actually have my name, like that's clear. You actually are rapping under my name and that's clear, right? But relief, what is relief? I'm damaged. I need relief. Well, me over here rapping songs under the name Rick Ross, how did that damage you? I mean, if that's the way that they won this case based on what we're seeing here in the appeal, damn, that was a wild defense. Imagine Rick Ross's attorneys being in court talking about, if anything, nobody even knew the name until we started running around with it. He can actually go, he's more popular now. And when he goes and drops a book now, he gets more money off of it because of the rapper bringing more notoriety to the name Rick Ross. That sounds logical what an attorney might do, but let's see what else we see in the appeal. Dismissal is proper where construing all facts in the light most favorable to plaintiff, it appears beyond doubt that he can prove no set of facts entitling him to relief. I don't even need to continue forward. You want to know where else that damn near gets justified? Rick Ross just said it in the interview out of his own mouth. Wow. I just caught that just now reading that. You wasn't able to prove areas where you needed relief or why you were damaged or what's this about. Rick Ross just said out of his own mouth in an interview, he wasn't paying it no mind. He didn't care. I mean, Freeway. He didn't care. Somebody called him and said, Universal got like $50 million over there that they probably owe you. And he said, fine, go get it. Did you really come home walking around and were damaged by the rapper? He just admitted that no. He had no stake, didn't care, he says, he alleges, in the case at all. And somebody came to him and said, here's an opportunity. So he said, fuck it, let's do it. He just told on himself. No pun intended. No pun intended. No pun intended. But now, so first I stuck up for the rapper. No, not that. I stuck up for Freeway Rick Ross as far as people just jumping out there and not remembering there's a difference between the time that you're sentenced to versus when you could actually get back out on the street. Then, you know, I'm siding out the rapper as far as out of Rick Ross's own mouth, Freeway, what he's saying about the lawsuit. And you lost it. And let's also add this fact. He didn't lose the case as if there was a countersuit. What he lost was after the rapper Rick Ross won his side of the case, and they deemed there's no viable proof for you to get relief, Freeway, right? Then they're able to come back and counter for the attorney fees that they spent. So if they spent 1.5 million in attorney fees to defend themselves, what he just said was the judge of that 1.5 awarded them 500,000 of their attorney fees back. And that could happen. Sometimes you could say, you sued me, you lost. Now I want the attorney fees that I had to spend back from you. That happens a lot. So, I mean, he says to this day, he's well, and at least in that interview, the timestamp of that, if they ever come for him for that money, he's going to pay it in quarters. So that means that he's a blood from the stone type of guy. There's no way to show that he has this type of income or any income, I guess, that they're going after. Maybe they don't care about it and they're not pressing him for it. If Freeway Rick Ross comes out with some major book viral deal or does a movie or drops his own album, don't be surprised if they knock on that door and say, hey, we got a court judgment for 500 grand and we're going to start garnishing these wages until we get ours back. I'm just saying. So very, very weird. Let's close it out like this. Calling somebody a rat or an informant without the paperwork or without proof. if Rick Ross is just saying that I think you're a rat because you got out early, we already X'd that out. You can't do that. The other motivation for Rick Ross to call Freeway Rick Ross a rat is the fact that he had to go to court with him and fight over his whole likeness and his damn near his whole career and catalog, possibly, but using the name Rick Ross. So that probably was very heavy and very stressful for the rapper putting out shit like this, right? So after that, you call him a rat, and that happens too. You go to the court, people are gonna call you a rat. And then I guess the question that I would leave for the chat and drop a comment below if you're not catching this live is, can a street nigga go to the courts with allegations on somebody else? Actually, I'll turn it to two questions. So answer that first. Freeway Rick Ross, let's say his reputation is I am still a street nigga when he came out. Can he go to court and sue somebody like the Rick Ross situation without y'all looking at him sideways like, wait a minute, big drug dealer? You're going to the authorities on somebody, big drug dealer? Seems like a little bit of a contradiction there. Like, you want to use the authorities now? So y'all tell me that. I like that to be black and white. You know me on this channel. I feel like once you start playing in gray, that's what creates people that are circumstantial of what they're going to say to the detectives when they're in that situation. They're circumstantial. And those are the people I'm scared of. Not that I'm in the streets. I'm scared of as far as their integrity. Now, on the other side, what if it's not a street nigga? You have ex-street niggas, people. We can't be ignorant. You can't say once a street nigga, always a street nigga. You want an example of that, people? Who the fuck is running around going crazy on Bun B? Nobody. Bun B got a pass. Bun B to this day is still respected. You look at all the celebrity and the rapper responses because he went and took the stand because he shot somebody that broke into his crib, right? And then he took a stand and he testified about the situation. And that guy was put in jail or something, right? Right? That guy was found guilty, right? All right. Did everybody start running around calling Bun B a snitch? No. You want to know why? Because despite his past, despite his come up, despite all his street lyrics and songs and music that he put out from the past, you know what they said? They said Bun B is an older man now. He's doing stuff in his community. He's a family man. Somebody broke into his crib. He defended himself. His wife is traumatized. He took the stand. He's not in the streets anymore. They gave it a pass. So you can't give it a pass because Bun B is beloved. You got to remove Bun B. Instead, you got to say that situation, not Bun B, it's that situation gets a pass because he is an ex-street nigga. That's the key. That's the key. Okay. So if Freeway came out and he's an ex-street nigga, how do you feel about him going to the authorities and suing Rick Ross? I'm pretty sure Rick Ross is still sour about that. Probably feels a way towards him. Probably would call him a rat still, even behind that, right? I know we changed the definition of the word informant and rat sometimes, but y'all choose. Drop a comment. Let me know in the chat. All right, let's keep it moving to Camron's apology. Now, this is good and annoying both at the same time. And I'll tell you why it's annoying after the video. But I also think it's fully aligned with the position that we took, y'all. What were we saying over here prior? Before this apology came out, we said, look, man, we always gonna call it down the middle. Cam is right when you look at those text messages between him and Jim Jones as far as the business that he did with Versus. But as far as how he lashed out at Ocho Cinco, no, he was wrong there. It was about the Stephen A. Smith interview. He used that as a launch pad to then just get at Ocho Cinco, and he just snapped on him about, oh, you asked me to speak to a manager, and you this and that for that. He snapped on him for that. Oh, I wanted you to come over here, and you chose to go and do a show with Shannon instead. He snapped on him for that. It was all private stuff. It was all business stuff. I don't see any faults in what Ocho did, and Cam used that opportunity to snap on him. So we call a spade a spade. Cam was wrong, and I hope that Cam heard enough of that, which also prompted this apology. I wouldn't be surprised. I know in here he says his homies called him and all that. You can't be listening to these people. These people are of the internet, so they watch the internet's response, okay? If these people only cared about the critiques that they got in private, then they would never show the world anything that makes them look like they have to change up. Okay. It's not just your homies that called you. You saw the internet. I'm not saying this podcast, but you saw the internet saying, what are you doing, Cam? Like, why are you exposing all that? What's wrong with having a manager? Like, he has a manager. Maybe you should too. You can't just be stuck in Harlem. He said that. I come from different places. What did I say before he said that? I said, I'm sorry, Cam, but up there, that's how it operates. People might even be cutting out their lawyers by not including them. They get sued by their lawyers or by their managers or by their agents, right? Maybe he did see our shit. Now that I think about it. Nah, but let's check it out. All bullshit aside.
After I looked at it, I was like, yo, I did kind of go hard on Chad. And my brothers told me, my brothers be on bullshit with me too. They be on bullshit. They're like, Cameron kind of was kind of crazy. I said, I do crazy though. That's what I do crazy. He said, yeah. And then they told me what he said. And I was like, was he being slick? And he's like, nah, it's kind of like he was kind of defending himself. So I want to say this. And then I seen clips of it. I didn't watch the whole interview. And I seen Uncle Shannon, Uncle say that it seemed personal. None of this is personal. So that's the first and foremost. I have no beef with of course, Shannon Sharp or Chad Ocho Cinco. I just wanted to say, if I went a little bit hard, I apologize. But the thing is this, you threw me off when you said you were talking about your piece with Stephen A. Smith. I'm uncomfortable still bringing it up. And if you say you was trolling, talking about your piece with another nigga, that triggered me to all the other shit that led off after that. I'm not, no, I think maybe the young niggas, whatever, and I'm not judging, like I said, I got no problem. But you and Stephen A. talking about your 3-inch piece, turning it to 11 was quite a while, and it may have triggered me. So if I went hard, I'm a little bit sorry. Not crazy, but a little bit. And the next thing is, I also seen what you said about the agent shit, and everybody got to talk to your agent. Let me explain something about that, right? I come from a situation, and I dig it. So after talking to a few people about that sport, and people higher up in sports that I deal with, that's how you guys came into the game. And I understand that completely. To where me, I negotiate my own shit. So when somebody has to talk to your agent, that's how it was since you was coming out of college. That's how it is 20 years later, 30 years later, or whatever. You guys have agents. You guys don't usually speak for yourself. And that's how y'all do business. To me, personally, and there's no right or wrong, I'm just expressing how I feel about that. If I'm the person doing business with you and I'm talking to you, why do I got to talk to another nigga about what you want? Unless you can't negotiate for yourself. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just coming from that. A lot of people sit there and wait for their agent to do this or their manager to do this and not know what they're getting, et cetera, et cetera. Really what they're getting what their agent telling them they get. And then you paying a nigga where you could have kept that money for yourself. So I'm not disrespecting anybody with an agent or manager that negotiates deals, but I'm just saying if I talk to niggas directly and you know what you want, if we could do it, we could do it. If we can't, we can't. We sit there and watch the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight happen 3-4 years after it was supposed to happen because of managers, because of agents, because of boxing promoters, et cetera. For that fight to happen, you know how that fight happened? Manny Pacquiao was at a basketball game. Floyd Mayweather was at a basketball game. Floyd Mayweather walked over to Manny Pacquiao. They had a 15-minute conversation, and the fight happened 2-3 months after that. Wasn't a bunch of people in the way. Now, do you need people signing contract, get the contract together, et cetera? So I can't fault you for having an agent not talking for yourself if that's how you came in the game. I just come from something different. That's first and foremost. And I'll wrap it up with that. Lastly, I'll say is this. You guys are doing a great job. I'm not hating on your show or whatever, but I'm doing a spectacular job, nigga. I'm that nigga. That's why you mentioned my name in the first place. And you're doing really good. You're doing good, Chad, and I'm proud of you. But you're not the main attraction on your show. You said you're not the main attraction. You're the coleslaw that comes with the meal. You relish. You anchovies. Shannon Sharp could do this without you, even though you're a good addition. You know those motorcycles with the little thing on the side? That little drink? That's you. You're the nigga on the side. It's Batman, it's Robin on the side. But yeah, you know I fuck with you. I love you. I hope I didn't offend you too much, but you definitely anchovies, nigga. Love you. I hope I didn't offend you too much.
Oh, that was dope. What came up next in my algorithm was Our Live Right Now. You know what? Cam is one of few people that I'm going to take it easy on as far as such a backhanded, shitty apology because of his own personality. He started off so good, it's just like, I possibly, went a little bit too far, and I apologize for that. And then he just, for the other 70% of it, he just justified it. You want to know what's funny too? If you watch the full clip of this, oh shit, on their channel, his homie Sin City comes on after him and they do the virtual, podcast together that they've been doing lately. And he comes on, he says, nigga, I hope I'm not coleslaw. Like, it's like, nigga. People, there's nothing wrong with being Robin in the world. There's nothing wrong with being number 2 in the world. Okay, like it's all right, man. It's all right. It's cool. Like Scottie Pippen has a beautiful legacy, and he's extremely successful, and his name is in the books, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Don't let yourselves ever feel like if you ain't Jordan, you shit. Okay, classic Beanie Siegel line. I'm not the captain of the yacht, but I'm on the boat. Okay, don't ever let anybody convince you that you have to land at number 1 or else you're shit. Don't let people convince you of that. Okay, there's always somebody bigger, better, stronger than you. Okay, if I'm the second best in the world at it, if RBE is the second best league, battle rap league of all time, go ahead and try to make me feel bad about that. I'm fine. Like, even at number 3, number 4, I'm cool. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, how many people have tried and will try and will come close to what I have done? You know what I'm saying? And I say that humbly. I hate that. I'm in a subtopic rant, y'all. I hate that mentality. I hate that mentality. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't number 1, shut the fuck up, man. My favorite basketball player of all time is Allen Iverson. He doesn't even have a ring. Go ahead and tell me something about Allen Iverson's fucking legacy, his career, the amount of money he's made, his success, his brand, his sneaker deals, and shut up. Shut up, man. Like, Jim ain't Cam, but Jim is fine. Like, I'm cool with the Jim Joneses of the world. Like, what the fuck is we talking about here? I have so many examples of that piss me off. But anyway, but Cam is 49 years old now. He's about to turn 50. That's the door he's knocking on, which is a beautiful thing. Okay. In all seriousness, Cam, I know that he has a comedic personality as well as side to his shows. He also needs to be careful at times, or take moments at times to remind these youngins and his fan base. He has a big fan base and a big following, you know, that it's okay to just give a flat, straight, direct apology. There's a lot of lives that could be saved. There's a lot of beefs that can be prevented. There's a lot of conflicts that could be, you know, swept under the rug if somebody just removes the ego of all the justifications, like what Cam just did, and just says, I was wrong. My bad. That's it. That's it. You're not a punk. You're not soft. You're not lame. It doesn't mean that Ocho could beat you up. It doesn't mean none of that. Okay? It's just, I was wrong. I wilded out, and my bad. Now, here's why I did it, and these are the reasons why I was wrong. Thinking that. I was wrong for thinking that. He didn't do that. The justification that he gave after that was damn near still standing on him. Like, I come from something different. I feel like if I'm talking to the boys, you can answer. No, like, stop, Cam. Let it go. Like, let it go. And I'm triggered by the conversation you and Stephen A. Smith had. That could be for you Harlem niggas. That could be a pause within itself. Stephen A. Smith and Chad is having a conversation about Chad's manhood and what he jokingly decided to do or really did or whatever the case may be. And it triggered you, right? So that could be pause worthy, okay? Like, you was triggered, and I don't play the pause game. And I'm really, really just messing with Cam right now because I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, people, that's not the best way to apologize. That is a Camron way to apologize. So I think he's going to get by with it, you know, because of his personality. But people, sometimes you can paint the picture of your character even after the apology. If you apologize like that, people will look at you like, this nigga, he really can do no wrong. He's really just apologizing for the camera or for the backlash because he showed me for the next 70% of his rant what he really means. So you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people to look at you in that type of light. All right. Jim Jones. What's up with Jim, man? Jim is he's in the algorithms these days, man. And you know, you get him on your platform and you find a way to ask him about Mase, or did he start the Bloods in New York or Camron or whatever. I think some of it triggers him. I think some of it he's using for promotion, and some of it, you know, is I guess you could say neutral, because even in interviews like this, this is the XXL. It just came out. He's not giving this platform or this interviewer enough respect to even sit still. He's walking around his house the whole time he's interviewing. Certain questions he dodges, certain ones he answers. And then he even gets to a point in the interview where he catches on, like we said the other day, like, you got to watch these media people, man. They're not there for you. They'll tell you, hey, come on my platform. Let's promote your album. I want to support. I'm there to get a soundbite out of you. I'm there to get a clip out of you. I'm there to get you to say, I'm going to box Cameron's head off. And Jim Jones eventually catches on to this interviewer like, oh, man, like this. And on top of it, I think there's a side of Jim, and it would be the side of a lot of men. Like, I'm out here promoting an album. I'm me. I'm an entity within myself. And the main thing I want to talk to me about is fucking Cam'ron. Like, so you could tell he starts to get annoyed in this interview, but there's two pieces to check out.
Yes. Obviously, the line before that, you touch on what you've said before about, teaching you rhyme structure and all that. And what are your thoughts on where Mase is at in his career and just his hip hop legacy in general, being that you've been someone who has consistently put out quality music for so long?
He need to go on a diet. He need to get his life together. He need to go to the doctor and get a physical. He looked terrible, bad body, back ass nigga. Nigga look big around his neck, waist look crazy. I'm body shaming this nigga. You heard? He need to go get his shit together, get on the treadmill, do some push-ups, do something. You heard? Especially for playing with me. He gonna need it. You dig?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, someone who goes to the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning, and if that's the case,
bad body. He look like when they be like big back, bad body, taco eating, stupid. That's what he remind me of.
So it's been 24 hours. Did anyone put up the 10 million yet for the fight with Cam?
I ain't see it hit my account. I ain't get a call about it yet.
You think that fight's actually gonna happen?
I mean, shit, didn't they just get 30 million? They got 10 million to spare if they believe in themselves like that.
If something like that does happen, what will that settle between you and Cam?
I don't know what it's gonna settle. I'm about to box, nigga. Let me stop. I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? I do a lot of things to get shit off my chest and shit like that. That's something I I meant from the bottom of my heart. But not nothing that I'm gonna dwell on in the media, go back and forth about. I said what I said. I know one thing for sure. Nobody really want to box right now. So
nobody wants to step with Jim in the ring. Well,
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying it don't make no sense. You heard?
Yeah. Now,
you asked him about 50 as well, and he had a way shorter, more vicious response. Fuck 50, I don't got nothing to say about him. Like, he left it like that. And then you also know that you say too much about 50, you open up all these angles for him to play with you on his platform. And it's just like, man, just fuck him. I don't want to talk about him. I don't think he minds the back and forth with Cam, but he at least he clarified, like, as far as the boxing thing, I stand on that. I meant it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's a way for y'all to get y'all shit over and done with, whatever. I don't even want to see that. It's just, I don't know. It just all feels like I don't know. Yo, 40, man. Should we take a bet on Cam responding to that? Or should I take a bet? Put it this way. Hey, 40, man, I'm gonna text you. I think I got 100 that Cam won't respond to that, but Mase will. I think we'll get a Mase response to that. The body shaming shit and all that. Oh, man. All right. The saga continues, but at least it's good promotion for Jim. He just dropped a good album. Okay. Y'all go support that, or at least give it a listen. Check it out. This one right here. Like I said, I didn't put Rockstar 2800 in the thumbnail, but he did an interview. So we all know that this is coming off of the viral clip of Blacc Sam pretty much kicking him out of the grand opening of Marathon Burger. He showed up and he kind of pressed him to a degree, and then they escorted him across the street, said, "You're not good." And it's all tied to him, Blacc Sam, taking the position that if anybody disrespects Nipsey Hussle and you don't move out behind that, then you ain't good around us. A lot of people start throwing around Wack 100's name, including Rockstar on Clubhouse. He mentioned Wack's name. Wack came out. He started defending that. He started trying to expose Rockstar behind that. Don't put that green light on me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, I'm telling the niggas, everybody, the world, that you've been sending drops and you hang out with me and you talk to me and you friends with me and all that. And I continue to say, I feel like Wack 100 has done things on Nipsey Hussle's name that are not preferable to say, because it came up. He answered that. People said, the thing about the tape that you keep saying, and Wack is now saying, like, well, I'm the one that's trying to prevent it from coming out. I'm protecting his name or whatever. But you're also running around with it as a news title. There's a tape. I got a tape. I got the footage. I got the work. Like, the whole world doesn't need to be hearing that there's allegedly some tape of Nipsey in some situation that doesn't look good. The man, like, why run that story? Doesn't exist on the internet unless Wack 100 runs around with it. Now I get it. Hassan Campbell said something about it, right? But most of the people feel like the person that is saying that he got the footage, but to all this, and he has so many interviews talking about it where it doesn't seem as defensive, is whack, right? And even if he wasn't the one that started, and even if he is defending it, right, he's still going to be the target because he's the West Coaster and he's the one that Rockstar is around. So anything that touches Nipsey Hussle's name in a bad light, like Blacc Sam would be justified to say, like, why is Wack even talking about this stuff, period, and you hanging out with him? Ain't Nip one of your boys? Then y'all grow up together, bang to get all this. Like, so I think Blacc Sam was very, very justified in that situation. But the internet gets a hold of it. The internet did what it did, and this is now Rockstar's position behind the internet.
I want to say I got love for Sam. I got love for Nip. I got love for the family. I ain't got no hate in my heart. Ain't no hatred in my heart at all. My heart pure. You understand? I care about them still to this day. It's nothing but a phone call. It's nothing we could talk. Yeah. Do I want my fade? Yeah. For how I did it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I just felt like it was out of pocket. But after that, we can shake hands, whatever. Or we ain't never got to talk again. However, whatever it's got to be, it's got to be. You know what I'm saying? So just leave it at that. But like I said, I ain't got no hate in my heart. I'm not going to say nothing bad about nothing. I'm not going to go on no campaign. I'm just telling my side, my story, and how I get down. You know what I'm saying?
So you and Blacc Sam need a fade. You need a fade with Blacc Sam for that.
I mean, I don't think, what else can it be? What else can it be? Like, tell me that. What else can it be?
I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I just asked the question.
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
I don't know if that's like,
what else can it be? Because it's like,
I should have an opinion about.
I'm just saying, like, if you got embarrassed like that, I mean, what else can it be? You feel me? Like, what else can it be? The whole internet making a spectacle of it. What else can it be? We could talk after, but right now we got to do what we got to do.
And there lies the answer. He started off that clip that we just played by saying, I got all love in my heart for Blacc Sam and Nipsey. It's all love. You know, I don't know about y'all, but people that I got 100% love for in my heart, I don't want to hurt, right? I'd rather talk it out. If I get to the point where me and you got to fight, we probably will never be friends again. Now, I understand that gang culture can be different, especially out there on the West. Y'all politics and y'all culture is different. You know, like shoot the fade, let's get off our chest like that, etc., etc., etc. To me, there's still a level above the gang part of it, which is just natural human nature. To me, personally, just my opinion. If I put my hands on you or you put your hands on me, we will never be the same again. Can we be friends still? Absolutely. I could take a fade just like the next man, but we will never be the same again. If we were pushed to a physical fight, we will never be the same, ever, ever. It just, there's just certain things that you just can't return from as far as how we identify with each other and how our energy, how I look at you, and you have your opinion on how it went, I have mine on how it went, and we pushed each other to the point where we had to put hands on each other. What if I hurt you bad? What if you hurt me bad? I guess the best way to do it is when you glove up, you know, with a ref, you know, so, you know, things. But you talk about a street fight, I don't know how y'all fight when it's a street fight. You aim to damn near kill. You in super survival mode. Boxing, you know, to stop it and interject and all that, knockdown rules and all that type of stuff, that's different. Street fight is literally deadly. Literally. You call me out for a fade or you force me to fight you in the street, we will never be the same again, even if we shake hands after. The beef is dead. The problems is dead. But we not, you know, I don't love you that much anymore. I'm telling you now. I'm keeping 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe y'all different, or y'all can say what y'all say for gang culture. But anyway, he exposed that though, because as much as I just harped on the whole fighting, even though you love somebody and trying to return after that as still the same level of friends, he said that level of embarrassment. He said, look at the internet. Look what happened. It's got to be a fade. And there lies the answer. I think it's the similar thing that we discussed also for Mike Knox. I don't think Mike Knox is a sucker at all. I think Mike Knox is a solid stand-up dude, but that video came out. He looked crazy. The internet ran wild on him. His friends, his family, his girl, his kids got to see that. They did memes about him. They clown about. They attach it to his reputation. Some people get the story wrong. They created skits about it, and now we see Mike Knox calling out Gossy for a fade, right? You think it's just because they had this recent back and forth on the internet behind the Oskino stuff? No. Knox also, whether he ever says it or admits it or not, he also wants to erase that video. Mike Knox would probably love nothing more than to get into a one-on-one squared off fade with Gossy in the ring or in the street, knock him the fuck out, and then let the whole world see that or know about it. He would love that because it would erase that video. And Rockstar is exhibiting the exact same thing right here. And there lies the danger. Somebody that's provoked by the nature of the internet and all the clowning and the trolling and the tweets. And this guy has a Clubhouse now, right? This guy has social media. He has a Twitter, right? He has a Instagram account, right? He posts a picture up of him with a nice grill. There's going to be 100 comments in there saying, "Oh, but you didn't do that with Blacc Sam." He posts a picture up of being at a boxing fight. Yeah, I'm here to see Tank's fight, y'all. They're going to be in the comments. Yeah. Well, why you in box Blacc Sam? You know what I'm saying? That shit gets to you as a man. It bruises the fuck out of your pride and your ego. It really does. It really does. And he just admits to it. And I think that's dangerous. And I don't think Blacc Sam owes him a fade. I don't think he does. I think that was an emotional situation tied to Nipsey Hussle, and his brother felt a way about him being around. Period. That doesn't mean that I owe you a fade. You know what I'm saying? If you come to one of my events and I don't fuck with you and I have you escorted out, that doesn't mean I now owe you a fade. That's not how that goes. So the danger therein lies the person that is now embarrassed. That's where I'm worried about just how people move. Like they get so bothered by the internet, and I'm not saying that I couldn't be a victim of that. You know what I'm saying? But they get so bothered by the constant trolling and the embarrassment of the internet. And those people be the ones to fucking flip their wig one day. Somebody say the wrong thing to them, and then there they go. They crash out. You know what I'm saying? What did Kevin Hart say? He said his worst thing ever that could happen to him is him getting knocked out in front of his son. Because then imagine, or his kids, because imagine later on he's like, son, take the garbage out. Like, you take it out. You're like, what? Oh, you didn't say that to our neighbor that knocked you out? It was like, your kids look at you different now. You know what I'm saying? And it make you want to crash. It make you want to find a way to get that back, get that reputation back, get that pride back, get that ego back. And those people to me become dangerous. I think me personally, I keep an eye on them. I keep an eye on them. Because you will crash behind the internet trolling you. The internet will drive you to jail or drive you to the grave. It 100%. Like all these examples that we speak of, you know who played it the best? Shit. Adi Boom. Adi Boom. The culture, the battle rap culture, they killed him. They dragged him. He got trolled. He got memed. They played with his name. They exposed him. They did all of this. They interviewed him. They spoke about him. Method Man was doing interviews about him and all type of shit on 15. Like, but what did Adi Boom eventually do? I don't know of Adi Boom's social media. Adi Boom, if he was like still out in the public like that on the internet, I think fans would like take his stuff and then blow it up and post them on websites. Or look what he just said, or look what he just did. He removed himself. He said, bye battle rap culture. He doesn't come anywhere close to it. I don't hear about any post or Instagram and that's the way to get away from something that could drive you towards crashing or could drive you insane. Like, y'all don't fuck with me, so I need to fully remove myself. You know what I'm saying? But this guy, Rockstar, I think he still wants to have an internet presence. And from what I heard, he's trying to do the social media thing and the Clubhouse thing and everything. So somebody like him probably feels the need to clean up this public internet reputation. And if Blacc Sam, which I believe doesn't owe him a fade, doesn't give him a fade, then he's just left out there with this type of L. And somebody talks bad about him every step that he takes. How does he handle that? That's a question. How does he handle that? All right, y'all. Voting poll time. I want to do it. All right, let's do it. Voting poll time. Let me get over to the channel, y'all. Let me see where y'all stand on these topics. And I want to get y'all vote see what's going on with y'all. Let me go over to the channel. Let me go over to the live. And let's go ahead and create a new voting poll for the chat to weigh in and tell me what's up. And I'm going to say, start a voting poll. And the question is going to be, I like to not make them too easy, but what is the most true? I'm going to say Freeway is a possible informant. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the civil suit stuff against the rapper. I'm talking about the allegations that Rick Ross is saying and, the fact that he got out early and all that type of stuff. So possible informant. And then I'm going to also say Camron's apology was wrong. I'm just going to say wrong. I'm not even going to pad it. And then we're going to say Jim. No. I'm going to say Mase will respond to Jim. And last but not least, Rockstar 2800 will eventually crash out. What's the most true? I can't put eventually as too many letters. Oh, I could just put crash, eventually crash. All right, there we go. All right, voting poll is up. Let's get some votes, people. Let's see what's going on with y'all. In the meantime, let me come back over to the live chat. Let me see what's going on with some of the members and some of the mods. What's up with y'all in here? Let me see. Everybody good? Everybody chilling? Okay. No fair street fight. I agree. In street fights, motherfuckers kick, bite, pinch, slam, choke. You get punched in the nuts, all types of shit. All types of shit in the streets, man. In Philly, as kids, we fight. In many cities as kids, we fight. To be honest. Yeah, shout out to Cat, man. Please hit that like button and please remember to share the video, y'all. Yeah, the fade without guns ended in the late 80s and 90s. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Every once in a while we see it. Every once in a while. Who was homie that died? That ran with Waka Flocka, the slim guy. Was it Slim Duncan? He was about his fades, right? He gave fades. There was a video of it. Him and the homie was beefing and arguing online, and they met up. He came by himself and he gave his fade. And dude that he faded stopped talking about him and gave him his respect after that. Right? Sometimes we still see it every once in a while. We just need to see it more. That's what it is. Let me get over to the voting poll so far. All right, what is the most true? Freeway is a possible informant, 25%. Uh-oh. Camron's apology was wrong, 16%. Y'all think Freeway is more of an informant than Camron was wrong for his apology? Interesting. Okay. Mase will respond to Jim is winning at 38%, and Rockstar 2800 will eventually crash is 21%. So y'all don't got none of these like really bottomed out too low, like 3%. Oh man, y'all think that a lot. There's truth in all four of these, basically. Freeway. All right, I'm gonna take one more quick look. Freeway is a possible informant now, 26%. Cameron's apology was wrong, 15%. So y'all have that in fourth place. First place is Mase will respond to Jim, 38%. And Rockstar 2800 will eventually crash is sitting at a comfortable third, close to Freeway, but at 21%. Interesting. Okay. All right, y'all. Yeah, you got it. Slim Duncan versus Kibo Gotti. Yes, that's what I was talking about. See, I got a music memory. I got a DVD era memory. I got a mixtape era memory. I'm a hip hop head. I was here through every era and every movement of hip hop and the birth of hip hop. We could talk house party days if y'all want. We could talk whatever. some of these guys, man, they can't just think about somebody. You see a comment in here and talk about there you go. Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. Hear a comment in here, somebody talking about like yo, they don't fade no more. And I'm like, nah, Slim Dunk did it. Like niggas don't be having that type of memory, son. And it's so wild. I didn't even think about me. But somebody in the chat did. He said, like, Queez Flip, great example. Yes, shout out to Flip. Yeah, and I was by myself. I was 100% by myself. There was not a single person with me. Flip walked into the cafeteria with like 5, 6, 7 people. Most of them was battle rappers, but that kind of was neutral, but they was kind of with him at the same time too. And we stepped outside and we handled our business. You know what I'm saying? And the 2 times that we seen each other after that, both times we shook hands. You know what I'm saying? Like men. Outside of an event where I pulled up. It's funny because the roles were reversed. I pulled up with like 10, 15 people. He even talked about it on one of his blogs. He's like, ARP pulled up with like 15 people. I had to call the gunman. And he was out there by himself because he was waiting for the league owner to come out and bring him in. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to stand online. I came out. I walked up like 15 people, got online. I looked at him and I winked at him. You know what I'm saying? Because we already handled our business. It ain't about like, oh, you with people, so you take advantage. Oh, now it's my turn. I got 15 people. You by yourself. Oh, we got them. No, we already handled our business one-on-one. So we shook hands. I winked at him. We shook hands. And then I saw him again like 2 days later at another event. It was like a battle rap weekend. And he was there with a couple people, and I was only there with like 4 or 5 people. And I walked in, we saw each other, and we shook hands again. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a respect that is supposed to come from that. You know what I mean? So I wasn't even thinking about me. But yeah, sorry, it's true. I am an example of that as well. Hopefully this Rockstar guy doesn't crash and he can go that route of an ARP or a Slim. Oh, shit. I'm out of here, y'all.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of and shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.